A survey says if you're in business, you are a brand, or if you have a brand, try to stay apolitical in an election year. 62% care very little to not at all about a brand's political affiliation. And we've seen this happen. There's a Wall Street Journal article talking about this very thing. Well, joining us now is the author of Trust Signals, Brand Building in a Post-Truth World. Cool title. Scott Baradell's with us. Hey, Scott, good morning.
Good morning.
We've seen this happen with a backlash recently with a number of different brands, haven't we?
Yeah, and that's why a lot of investors or public companies are pushing back and saying, stay out of politics and stick to selling your products because it's happened with Bud Light, Target, others. I'll give you a great example, Major League Baseball. 2021, the legislature of Georgia passed legislation on voting and trying to protect voting, which folks on the other side said, no, you're trying to keep people from voting. Major League Baseball got in the middle of it, and they moved the All-Star game from Atlanta to Denver that year. This year, Texas is where the All-Star game was held. There were protests about the fact that Texas was the only team that did not have a Pride Night. And Major League Baseball, completely avoided that issue and did not take the game away from Texas. That's an example of the kind of change. If it was 2021 instead of 2024, maybe they would have reacted the same way.
Is it? I don't know. Would you call us now? We're all familiar, maybe we are, with cause marketing, right? And you tie your brand to a cause, the fight against cancer or something like that. This is kind of like cause marketing, maybe.
Yeah, it's an important distinction though, because people definitely want brands to be more than just selling widgets. They want them to have values, but having values is very different from stepping on, a political hot button. So you can, as a brand, support sustainability. The great majority of Americans are in favor of sustainability. But if you start talking about climate change, then suddenly you've stepped on a landmine.
Yep. And there's a nuance there. Like I sustainability, you bet. I'm all about. I'm using my van till it completely falls apart.
Right.
I'm reusing everything, man. But a lot of that is just because I don't want to give my money to. I just don't. I get it from my dad, right? I reuse everything. But not because I'm worried about global warming or anything like that. So let me ask you this. Does it ever pay off for someone to get political, for a brand to actually get political?
Well, when a brand really, really knows its customer base and can weigh the pros and cons, and its research shows it the smart move it can be. For example, Nike aligning with Colin Kaepernick, which it has. Colin Kaepernick, very controversial figure. A lot of brands that would really hurt them. But Nike knows its customer base, and it actually improved revenues for Nike because of that alignment. But you better be careful and do your research.
And you've got to watch the trend because people are fickle.
Right.
And what runs positive today in 6 months will run the other direction. We're talking with Scott Baradell. The guy, he's heading up with the thing. I just love the name of this. The Idea Grove is a marketing company, and he's also the author of Trust Signals, Brand Building in a Post-Truth World. And we're talking about being apolitical, not political, but apolitical in your business. We're talking about national brands. Does this trickle down though and work for even local brands, stores?
Yeah,
companies?
Absolutely. It's the same thing. With social media today, no one is immune from the repercussions of taking a political stand. We've all seen the stories of, say, a local restaurant or another local business that does something, puts out a Trump sign or does something to show its political views, and then it gets bombed with all these negative reviews from all over the country of people who have never gone to this local business just because they hate that it came out with a political view they disagreed with. So there's, it's not just a worry that big businesses have to have. Every business has to worry about this kind of thing today, and getting out there and making a mistake of saying something political that could get you in trouble.
Tell me about your book. What do you mean by a post-truth world? We live a lie. Have we always?
Well, it really is. It's less about living a lie than it is. When we say post-truth, it really means having shared conceptions of truth. In other words, we all are gathering information from different sources. We all go down our own social media rabbit holes, and it's not just that we have the same set of facts and different opinions. We all have different set of facts these days.
Okay. And then we look at the facts differently no matter what. Scott Baradell. We find your book everywhere, Trust Signals, Brand Building in a Post-Truth World. We find it just about everywhere, I suppose.
Yeah, Amazon is a great place to get it.
There it is, Scott Baradell. You know what? Everybody always says, get my book at Amazon. I know, because it's an easy thing to do, and you have to. If you're going to have a book, you have to have it on Amazon. Remember when Amazon was just a little place that almost went under, and they were just selling books, and that was it? Wow.
I know. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, you got to be in there. So look it up, Scott Baradell. Awesome stuff. Hey, have a great day. Thanks, pal.
Thank you.